Have you ever felt like your hair just isn't the same anymore, and no one's really told you why? You're not alone. What many women don't realize is that hair loss during menopause isn't just down to aging or plain old genetics. The real culprits in this story are hormones. Yes, those same ones that quietly did their job for years. And now, as they start to shift, they can have a massive impact on your hair. But what's most frustrating is that hardly anyone says it outright. Everyone talks about shampoos, oils, supplements. But what if I told you the root of the issue goes much deeper? During perimenopause, your levels of estrogen and progesterone begin to do a rather chaotic dance. And that messes with more than just your mood or cycle, it affects your hair too. Why? Because estrogen, among many things, helps keep your hair in its growth phase for longer. When those levels drop, the hair moves into its resting phase more quickly, and that's when it starts shedding more than usual. But that's not the full picture. As estrogen falls, testosterone becomes more dominant. And while women have less testosterone than men, its effects can be quite noticeable when it's not properly balanced. That testosterone can convert into DHT, a molecule that directly attacks the hair follicles and weakens them. And that, love, is something you definitely notice in the mirror. What's odd is that many women start seeing their hairline thinning at the temples, a loss of volume that doesn't return, or a more visible scalp, and they just put it down to stress or age. And sure, those things play a role, but they're not the whole story. Your body is going through a deep hormonal reshuffle, almost like it's rewriting its internal manual. And in the middle of all that, your hair becomes a kind of silent thermometer. It doesn't shout, it doesn't hurt, but it does speak. The problem is, no one ever taught us how to listen. And this is where things get even more interesting. Loads of women try to fix the issue from the outside. New products, new hairstyles, tricks to hide it. But if we don't understand what's happening on the inside, it's like sticking a plaster on a burst pipe. Hormonal imbalance doesn't just affect your hair. It messes with your sleep, your appetite, your libido, your memory. It's like a domino effect. And what hardly gets mentioned is that these hormonal changes don't hit every woman the same way. Some feel them intensely, others barely at all. But when they hit hard. The most unfair bit? We live in a society that expects us to maintain an idealized image of youth, yet hides the very keys we need to understand our own bodies. Why didn't anyone tell us that hair loss could be a sign of hormonal imbalance? Why are we made to feel like it's just vanity, when in reality it's yet another symptom of this transition we're going through? And worse still, even doctors often don't go into depth. They say it's normal, that there's not much to do, or they suggest trying a supplement, but you know something more is going on. The real shift starts when we stop thinking our bodies are betraying us and start realizing they're just trying to adapt. You're not broken. You're not overreacting. You're going through a transformation that deserves to be seen with more compassion and less judgment. And that's where true change begins, when you stop ignoring what you're feeling and start listening to what your body is trying to tell you. And right there, when we realize our hormones have so much to do with it, a new door opens. Because yes, there are ways to bring them into balance, and not all of them involve medication or harsh treatments. Some solutions are much more accessible than you might think, and they've got everything to do with daily habits. How you eat, how you sleep, how you handle stress. The body has an incredible ability to bounce back when you give it the right conditions. And yes, it might sound like a cliché, but stress is one of your hair's worst enemies. When your cortisol levels, that's your stress hormone, shoot up, your body goes into alert mode. In that state, it prioritizes vital functions and pushes others aside, like hair growth. And do you know what's even more unsettling? The stress caused by hair loss can actually worsen that same hair loss. It's a silent, vicious cycle. It's not just about emotional stress. There's also metabolic stress, when your body isn't getting what it needs to function in balance. Eating on the go, poor sleep, not moving your body, all of that is also a form of stress, and your hair feels it. Another huge factor that's rarely mentioned is the link between insulin and hair loss. Many women, without even realizing it, start to develop insulin resistance at this stage of life, which throws hormones off balance as well. When there's too much insulin in the system, it boosts the production of androgens, male hormones, and that worsens the DHT problem. That's why it's not just about cutting carbs or following the latest diet trend. It's about learning how to regulate your metabolism in a kind and sustainable way. Eating well, without extremes. Living a rhythm that helps your hormones stabilize. And here's another little-known detail: your thyroid. Thyroid function can shift during menopause, and many cases of hair loss are directly linked to mild hypothyroidism that goes unnoticed. Not strong enough for a clear diagnosis, but enough for you to feel it. Constant fatigue, drier skin, cold hands and feet. And yes, hair thinning. Ring any bells? Then maybe it's not just menopause, it could be your thyroid calling out for help. Now, this all might sound a bit overwhelming, but here's the most important bit: you have more power than you think. Your body is designed to find balance if you give it the right tools. You don't need to become an expert in hormones, you just need to learn to read the signs. And above all, stop blaming yourself, because this isn't happening from neglect or lack of effort. It's part of a natural process. What makes the difference is how you choose to support yourself through it. Many women have found relief not just through medical treatments, but through lifestyle changes they never imagined could have such a big impact. For example, sleeping well isn't just getting rest. It's giving your body the chance to repair tissue, to regulate cortisol, to rebalance sex hormones. And it shows in everything, from your mood to the shine in your hair. Moving regularly, even gentle walks, helps improve circulation, brings oxygen to your scalp, and balances hormone levels. No need to run marathons. It's about movement as an act of self-care. And of course, nutrients. Without them, your body can't build anything, not even strong hair. Iron, zinc, vitamin D, biotin, quality protein, all these are essential for healthy follicle function. But if your hormones are off balance, even the best supplement won't work miracles. That's why your approach has to be holistic, from the inside out. Listen to your body, validate what you feel. Don't downplay your symptoms just because it's normal. And if there's one thing we should normalize, it's talking about this without shame. Because losing your hair isn't just a cosmetic change, it's something that shakes your sense of identity, your confidence, your relationship with yourself. And it deserves to be taken as seriously as any other menopause symptom. You are not alone. More and more women are starting to speak up about this openly, sharing how they feel, what's helped them, what hasn't, and that, even if it seems small, is already a form of healing. In the end, the most important thing isn't just stopping hair loss. It's learning how to go through this change from a place of strength, not fear. It's not about getting back your 20-year-old hair. It's about recognizing the woman you are today, with everything you've lived, because your worth isn't in your hair. It's in your story, your presence, your ability to adapt again and again. And once you understand that, the way you see yourself changes. And your hair, slowly but surely, does too.